I got anxiety about going back to America. I gotta film this over. Fuck. All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry. These little mini skirts just be wanting to show your whole booty. Like, bro, I ain't trying to show my whole booty right now. I'm trying to make a video. Anyways, welcome back to my channel, y'all. And in this video, I'm going to discuss something that's been giving me major anxiety for the past few days. So, I got anxiety about going back to America. Yes, that's right. I'm going back to America. Um, I'm going for a visit, a short visit, and then I'm heading to the Dominican Republic after that. Now, originally, I was going to go straight to Dominican Republic, like just skip America and go. But I just felt like it would be kind of rude to be on that side of the hemisphere and not see my family members. So I'm sweating. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and take a pit stop in America and say hi to the family. Say hi to my people then. Anyways, so yeah, I'm going back. I have been in Bali since 2023. 2023. And I have not stepped a toe into the Western world since then. I mean, or else you count like Europe. Is Europe Western? Sort of, yeah. Um, but I have not been nowhere near the States. It's like the longer I was away, it's like a feral animal. The longer they've been outside, like the longer they want to stay outside. And then they turn into like a wild dog. I don't know. But anyways, so for me, I feel like the longer I've been away from America, the more I'm just like, yuck, I don't want to go back because every time I see the news, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like the news about America be stressing me 100% out. Like it be stressing me out. Like I'll be like, am I gonna get tackled by ICE as soon as I step a toe outside? Like I'll be stressed. I'm probably gonna have to bleep out that word so that because I don't know if YouTube is like restricting certain words. But anyways, so in order to break down my anxiety, I need to tell y'all why I left. But also, I need to sit down. I need to sit down. It's hot. It's hot. And yeah. Um, let me grab a chair. Let me grab a chair so we can start this chat. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I had to sit down because I'm hot, and it's hotter over there than it is over here. So the first thing we're going to talk about is why I left America. So I'm not going to make this too long. I could make a whole separate video of why I left America. But I'm sweating. The reason I left America is because I was burnt out. I was burnt out, and I was always stressed out. And yeah, I was even overweight. I had gotten to the point where I was so stressed and depressed that I was not doing the things that made me happy. I wasn't going out. I wasn't working out, and I love being active and working out. I wasn't dancing, and I'm not even I'm not like some professional dancer or something. I don't pop lock and drop it like no, but I'm just like a vibe dancer. Like I just be vibing. I just be dancing. I'm the type of person that will turn on a good playlist and dance in my house for an hour straight with the heat on, so I can sweat. But that's besides the point. Um, I just felt like I was in survival mode. The I talk about this a lot in my other content, but it's like I got out the military. I did the military for 10 years. I got out. And when I was getting out, I was always planning. What's her name? Chidi Ashley. Chidi Ashley. She was my main inspiration. Okay, her and I think the other girl. I think her name is Latrice. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She was also a Navy veteran, and she was living in Thailand and moved to Bali and moved to Colombia. So those ladies, because they were black women, they inspired me. And once I saw what they were doing, I was like, bet I could probably do that too. Plus, I already got money from being a veteran. Um, so I made this plan all the way in 2020 because I got out in 2021, and I said I'm gonna put all my stuff in storage and then I'm gonna go live overseas. I was only gonna do it for 6 months, maybe a year, but in the back of my mind, I was hoping that I would figure out a way to sustain that overseas living. Um, God, that's so loud. I hate it here sometimes. Not in Bali, but in this specific location, because there's no peace. Imagine if I'm trying to take an afternoon nap and that's what I'm hearing. This is so annoying. I'm just gonna stop the video right now. Yeah, I had to bite the bullet and just come inside because it's way too loud out there. And it was hot. It was hot. And them construction people, they're not gonna stop. I think I was telling the story. Oh, I was talking about who inspired me. Latrice and Chidi Ashley. And also, yeah, so I was planning on living overseas and I did just that. I lived overseas. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm gonna have to have a whole nother video to tell y'all about the big mistake that I made that led to me feeling even more severely depressed. So I lived overseas after I got out. Like everything was copacetic. Like I planned it out. I had a condo in San Diego. I sold my condo because it was a pain in the booty. Let me tell you right now. They be telling y'all buy a house, buy a house, buy a house, and that's what I thought. Well, I bought a condo because San Diego is expensive. First of all, for it to cost me as much as it did, it was raggedy. The 800 square foot condo costing $300,000 is crazy. And then the HOA just kept getting worse and worse every year. So I sold my condo. I got medically retired, so the military was like, "Yeah, we could put your stuff in storage for you, for the next 6 months until you go back to your home of record." And so I'm like, "Oh, bet free storage, condo sold. I'm out of here." So the first place I went to was Colombia, but that was an accident. I was supposed to go to Bali. Supposed to go to Bali. It was always Bali for me. So I went to Colombia, and I didn't. The reason I went to Colombia was because of COVID. COVID was throwing his booty cheeks around up in Bali, and they were like, "Nope, we gotta shut it down. We gotta shut the airport down. Y'all can't leave, and people cannot come in because of COVID." Just clapping booty everywhere. And so, with that being said, I had paid for my visa and everything. So I'm like, crap, what am I gonna do? So at that point, I was in Greece with my current boo thing at the time. Because the plan was to visit him and then go from Greece to Bali. So I got 4 suitcases in this man's house in Greece. Like, damn. So I was stranded. I was trying to go to Thailand. I was trying to like figure something out because I was like, I'm not going back to America. I'm not going back to America to hang my head in defeat. So I saw the Latrice lady. Uh, she was doing something somewhere in Colombia, and I was like, God, that looks beautiful. And it looked almost like Bali because I was like, I gotta go somewhere else that gives the same vibes as Bali. Like I had envisioned my birthday plan. Like I was going glamping for my birthday, so I was like, wherever I go, they gotta have glamping because that was what I was gonna do for my birthday. And once I said I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. And so long story short, I saw her doing her thing in Colombia, and I was like, God, it's beautiful. I didn't even know it was that pretty out there. So I did a little bit more research to figure out what city I would stay in. I was like, okay, Medellin seems to be the one. Medellin is ugh, to die for. It's beautiful. And then I was like, how much does it cost? I'm on Airbnb. I'm looking. I'm like, oh, these prices are. Oh, okay. So yeah, booked my plane ticket, secured my Airbnb, and I didn't even have to have a visa for the first, I think, 90 days. So I just went. They didn't even look at my COVID vaccine when I got there. They were just like, yeah, okay, boom. They're more strict now, but yeah, so that's how I ended up in Colombia. And life was good. Life was great in Colombia. It's amazing. And then I had gotten this relationship. It was long distance, and he convinced me to move to Mississippi. Yes, but that's a whole nother thing, and I will do a whole nother story time about that. Moved to Mississippi, got a government job, was in this relationship. I was working on base. And I moved into my misery 100%. The government job was just like I was in the Navy again. I was doing exactly the same thing I was doing in the Navy, just as a civilian now. And it sucked. It sucked bad. Working overtime, dealing with the same type of like bureaucracy type of things that I dealt with in the military. Like the chiefs are now the managers. Like the higher ups are still the same kind of attitudes, same kind of condescending behaviors. It was very triggering for me because I just got out the military for dealing with stuff like workplace bullying and all that type of stuff. So now I'm back at this job and it's just too much. It's too familiar. And then on top of that, my whole life was just work. My whole life was just work. It was um, get up early as hell, make my little smoothie, get my little packed lunch, go to work, and then get off work around, you know, what, three something, and then go home, repeat. And then depending on if the hours were long, like if we had to work overtime or whatever, there were times we had to work overtime. Those days sucked, especially working overtime during a holiday when everybody else is off. Even then, I'm in the middle of nowhere, Mississippi. The airport is expensive because it's a tiny airport and nobody flies out of there. So a flight that could cost $200 will cost 500 just because I'm flying out of Meridian. And so I was just miserable because I'm like, I can't even travel how I want. I'm far from everything. I gotta drive 5 billion hours to get to somewhere that I like. I don't even like driving. So it was just a lot for me, and I got like severely depressed over there, like really bad. Also the breakup, and also the feeling of knowing that I left my dream life I was already living in Colombia to come back to Mississippi for a person. Oh, woo! I was hurt. I was so mad, and so yeah, I was depressed. I was very depressed in 2022. Even though I did travel a little bit, but I was overall just depressed. And I made up my mind. I said, no matter what's going on, no matter how much money I have saved or not saved, whether I have a good plan or not, I'm going to move. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move to Bali. Made up my mind, and I said I'm doing it at the end of the year. So yeah, broke my lease. Not the end of the year, the beginning of 2023. So I did just that. I ended my lease, which I didn't have to break it. I ended it around the time I was supposed to. I ended my lease. I quit my job, but I also ended up having to have knee surgery. So that was a monkey wrench in the plans. So ended my lease, quit my job, had knee surgery that I wasn't supposed to have, and I still said I'm still going, whether my kneecaps work or not, whether these legs would work or not. So me and my little cane traveled and left. I did stop in Saudi Arabia. I went to Cappadocia, Turkey, which is so beautiful, so amazing. I went there and I went to Saudi Arabia. Oh, such a beautiful place. And then I finally made it to Bali, right? So why did I choose Bali? I chose Bali because Bali just represented peace to me. It represented like this dream of like being peaceful and being able to cultivate the life that I wanted to have for myself. Um, I had already been to Bali twice before. I went to Bali in 2018 after my third and last deployment. Was it third or fourth? Well, anyway, I went to Bali in 2018 after my last deployment, and I went because I needed to get away. That deployment was deployment from hell for me, and I was lucky that I was alive afterwards because it made me want to not be. So I went to Bali. I was supposed to go with friends. They all were like, I don't want to go. The flight is too expensive. Mind you, it was $600 round trip, which is a steal because now you don't see that anymore. So I was like, well, I'm going to go by myself. And I went to Vietnam, and then I went to Bali immediately after. Went to Vietnam to check out hair factories because I was selling hair at that time. So went to Bali by myself. I didn't know what to expect. I barely did any research. I was just playing it by ear. I had no plans. I didn't know where to go for what attractions were popular. I knew nothing. I just knew I booked two very beautiful places for a very cheap price, and I was ready to go to those places. And I got to my first place, and it was amazing. Like literally, it gave Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom vibes. I had three stories. Not did I have a three? Yes, it was a three-story place that I had to myself, and I had my own pool. And that was my first time ever experiencing that. And that's not even what I paid for. They upgraded me because they felt bad that they forgot to pick me up from the airport. Um, that was my first experience with Bali. I'm getting off into a tangent. This video is going to be a little bit long, but I'm not editing it because that was my plan for this channel was to not be over editing. So, anyways, yeah, the first time in Bali, amazing. And ever since then, I've always told myself I have to go back because it wasn't just the place, the people. They made me feel at home. They were so kind, and I just was like, I have to go back. There's so much more to do in Bali that I didn't even do. So when I saw that there was a way I could live out here off of like my VA money, I said, oh, I'll figure it out. I got to go. So, anyways, before we start over talking, what Bali changed for me? Okay, so the first thing I have on this list is better mental health. So, moving to Bali, it definitely helped me with my mental health, but I would say that's always the outcome of everybody. You have to be in a state where you are aware of how crappy your mental health is, and also in a state of where you want to fix it and you want to heal it, and that you're open to heal it. Because there's a lot of people out here in Bali who are not healed, and they definitely going through some battles. It's okay to go through some battles and not be healed. But I just wanted to remove that veil because when I see, all this content on social media, they're like, Bali and healing and spiritual, and it is. But there's also a lot more going on besides that out here. But no, I was in a space where I was at the brink. Alrighty then. I think the wind just knocked over something. Ooh, scared the shit out of me. It's windy. So, anyways, I was at the brink, and so once I got here, I literally isolated. I stayed in my room, and it was even to a point where I stayed in my room for I don't know how long. It felt like a month and a half. Because I was kind of going out when I got out here, trying to like meet people and stuff. Black in Bali is a group out here. In case y'all ever visit, they throw events for us type of folks, but everybody's actually welcome. Like I see white people and Indonesians and all these different people at their events, but it's mainly surrounded like somewhere where you can go and listen to black music and black culture and taste black foods and all that type of stuff. So I would go to their events because I'm like, okay, it's a good way for me to like get my feet wet and try to socialize. But I just had so much that I had to unpack that I would just cry. I would cry so much. And then I just got to a point where I was just in the house. I didn't leave the house for a while. I just isolated and was working on myself and my stuff. And yeah, so like my first year in Bali, it was a lot of isolation, a lot of trying to figure out how to heal myself, and still not quite being all the way there. But at least I what Bali gave me at the least was the opportunity to even address that stuff, because being in the States and being part of the rat race and working these long hours, you don't have time to sit down and isolate for a month trying to heal. You don't have time to even think about that, because you got to wake up the next day and go to work. And then you might have to go work another job afterwards. So, at the least level, being in Bali gave me the opportunity to slow down and to focus on all those things that were bothering me. And then not only that, but I lost weight like immediately, like for no reason, because I was in the house depressed, so I wasn't even working out, but I was eating. I was getting food delivered, and I was eating, and I still lost weight. Still lost weight because the portions are smaller, and the food don't have plutonium and uranium and aluminum. I don't know, but the food don't have the same stuff that the States has in the food. So I just lost weight just in general, and half of my clothes that I brought with me, I couldn't even wear anymore because they were all too big. Um, Not to get off topic. So we transition from mental health to physical health. So see, physical health, lost weight without even trying. But then when I did start trying, it got even better. So mind you, um, I did come here with a cane. I still walking. I was like a toddler when I came here. Like, it was very shaky for me. Like, my feet couldn't even grip my, not my feet, just my foot, my right foot, because that's where I had the knee surgery on. It wasn't fully, the nerves weren't fully healed yet, so my foot was still a little bit numb. My toes were still a little bit numb, and I didn't realize, like, for us to actively wear sandals, our toes are in a constant state of kind of gripping uh, onto the bottom of the shoes to a certain extent. But I realized that because my slides would never stay on my feet, on my right foot. It would just fall off because my foot couldn't, like, actively grip like my left foot could. So I was shaky, I was wobbly. Stairs were a nightmare, but you can't avoid stairs out here because they barely have elevators. So I guess essentially it did force me to kind of train myself to be able to walk upstairs. It would take me a minute. I would have to pause and look and be like, all right, let's do this. And so, but yeah, I pushed myself and I said, I'm going to keep working out. Um, that could be a whole nother video, and it will be. But long story short, Bali gave me the opportunity to rehabilitate myself. And they have so many gyms out here. Like, first of all, if you're into yoga, people do a lot of yoga out here. But they have so many gyms out here, like gyms I had never seen that's them type of gyms in my life before. Except for one Navy base, like a couple of Navy bases, they'll have like the big gyms where they have like the sauna and the pool and all of that. But like in real life America, trying to pay for a gym that has all of that, it's pretty expensive. You just go to Planet. I went to Planet Fitness, but out here I found gyms that had all that stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, they're also expensive out here. But whatever price they're paying out here for it, guaranteed in the States, you would be paying twice that amount. Because I'm talking, it's like just I'll next time I go to a gym, I'm gonna record videos, and so you guys can just see how good the gyms are out here. Like, really good, great equipment, recovery area. Some of these gyms even go as far as like doing like a physical assessment of you, getting like your BMI and all those types of things, just so they can come up with like an optimal plan for you as far as your fitness goals and your recovery. Some of the gyms out here even do blood work on you. So yeah, so when you live in a place like this that really promotes like that fitness culture, and that health and wellness lifestyle, it really gave me a chance to prioritize healing myself and rehabilitating myself enough to where I don't have to pause and think twice about walking upstairs. And I didn't have to use my cane. Eventually, I could put that cane down, and now I'll be dancing and doing all kinds of stuff. People wouldn't even think that I had problems with my knee, or else I told them. So yeah, that's one of the things that Bali changed for me was my physical health. And I'm still working on my physical health. I'm still working on my flexibility and mobility, and I'm getting better and better every day. Um, so what else I have on this list? More calm and less reactivity, for sure, for sure. Definitely, my life is very chill. My life is super chill. It's not busy, or else I want it to be. If I'm busy, I made myself busy. It doesn't have to be. And what else I have on my list? That I feel safe in my body again. That one is true. Um, am I 100%? Am I at the optimum level of feeling safe within myself? No, no, I'm not. I'm still working on that. I think that journey will be forever. I think like the universe is the limit of how safe you can feel within yourself. But I did get a spiritual coach out here, which I'm gonna have several videos about as well. I have so much to talk to y'all about. But I did get a spiritual coach out here, and that also helped me a lot with my healing and healing my childhood traumas. Not just like what was surface level, but it helped me address things that were way deeper. So those are all the things that Bali did for me. Okay, Bali did amazing on my life. Okay, so now let's get back to why going back feels triggering to me, right? So I think going back to the US is eh, like you know how you run away from you had like a you see that movie and there's some like troubled teenager and they're like had this crazy past. They went to like juvenile detention and blah blah blah. And then as an adult, they change their life around and then somebody in the family passes or there's a funeral and they gotta go back home and you're like, fuck, I gotta go home and you're dreading it. That's the same feeling I feel about going back to the US. Because it's been 3 years now. And I'm just like, bro, I gotta go back. And I'm sure it's not gonna be that bad at all. It's not it's gonna be great actually. I'm gonna eat so much good food. I'm gonna eat Bojangles. Like I'm looking forward to eating Bojangles, Popeyes. Like I'll probably gain 5 pounds, but I'm okay with that. But it's just like, yeah, so I have on here fear of old patterns, fear of stress and overstimulation. Yes. So I have to see people when I'm in the States. And because I'm going to the Dominican Republic to do my thing that I'm doing, I wanted to make sure I saw my family before doing that thing that I'm doing because I don't, once I'm over there, I don't want to be worried about coming back. So I'm just like stressed out about the back and forth. I'm stressed out about, I got to split myself this way. I got to go see this person. I got to go see that person. I got to go to this place. I got to go to that place. So the logistics of it all is stressing me out because I don't want to do that. Um, Yeah, so I have on here, I don't want to lose the peace I've built. Yeah, because going back also means I'm gonna have to deal with some people that I kind of avoid. So I'm just kind of anxious about that because I'm like, I haven't had to deal with this in a while. I haven't had to see this person in a while, talk to this person. And by the people I'm avoiding, I mean certain family members. And your family just tickles your stress in a different type of way that other people don't. So I'm just like, ugh, I've been in my little, Bali bubble, like avoiding all this stuff. Now I'm gonna have to go back. Yeah, so I was just kind of feeling stressed about that. Actually, talking to y'all about this is helping me. It's helping me a little bit right now. I'm feeling less stressed about it as I talk about it. Um, but I have on here, it says your body remembers how hard it was. Yeah, and I think that's part of it. That's just it's like a natural. It's natural for your body to feel a certain type of stress about an environment that you associate stress with, even if there's no real trouble in sight. It's like your body's always going to remember like just how you felt in the States and just the climate of it all. And speaking of climate, yeah, the news does not help. The news does not help. So like hearing about like ice, doing things to people that, unnecessarily stopping people and all that stuff. And at first I thought it was, they just doing it to black and brown people, but I guess nobody's safe. So it kind of makes me feel like I'm staying in the house while I'm there, and I dead ass mean it. Like, I'm not doing too much. Like, I'm staying in the house. Another thing will be like the cost of living. So I don't spend that much money to be out here. So like to have to go back and thinking about how much Uber costs. Like, I think every time I book a ride here, I pay $1, sometimes less than $1. So like imagine paying $1 for a ride, and a ride across town is like a ride across town is like an hour and a half would cost me like $3 to $5. So imagine paying $3 to $5 to go an hour and a half on a bike. Let's say I book a car, right? A 3 hour ride in a car. A 3 hour ride in a car somewhere like in the mountains that cost me like $35, but it's 3 hours. So now to go back from and to go to like I'm gonna be in the States, and every time I go somewhere, I'm paying probably a minimum $30, maybe even more. I'm hearing people say their Uber rides are like $70. That's the price of flying from like Sicily to Malta is less than that. So that's how my logic is. I'm like, I'm gonna have to pay so much to go places and eat. So all of that is just stressing me out because I'm like, oh my gosh, I just gotta get in and get out, get in and get out. Like I can't stay there for a prolonged amount of time because I just can't be eating up my money like that. But yeah, so those are the things that were kind of like triggering me and stressing me out about going back. And so how's that anxiety been showing up? Well, I have been so when I'm in a state of panic, it's not necessarily like sometimes it could be one thing that happened that triggered me, but sometimes it could be like little nuggets of anxiety that were dropping. And then next thing you know, I wake up one morning and I'm just like, why do I feel like my chest is gonna explode at 8 in the morning? And I just woke up. But it's really like little nuggets of anxiety have been like happening that's been low key building up. So I just kind of been feeling like anxious, unsettled, like I feel like I can't focus, like I have homework. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I'm in school online. Uh Shout out to the GI Bill, you know. But it's like I'm over here like I cannot focus. My brain is running a million miles per hour because I'm trying to figure out how things are gonna go when I get there. Am I gonna see this person from this day to this day, from this hour to this hour? Like I'm planning down to the hour. You know, too much. Like it's just too much. Like I need to chill out. But yeah, that's pretty much how my anxiety been showing. Like just overthinking, feel my chest feeling tight, not being able to sleep well because I'm just like have so much on my plate. And then I feel like I have to get so much done before I leave Bali. I got like what's today? I got 5 days left out here. 5 days left out here. I gotta pack up my little suitcase. Luckily, most things can fit in one suitcase. I gotta go put it in storage, get my other suitcase, which I did pre-pack. I pre-packed for this trip in November. Thank God. I gotta get my other suitcase. I have a photo shoot with this brand like the day before I fly out. Um, I got some content I gotta make for myself because I know once I get there, I'm not gonna be doing much. So I'm just kind of like, oh, and I have homework. I got homework, and it's hard this time. It's not easy. This class is hard. I'm like, dang, I got all this stuff to do before I leave. So I'm kind of low key panic. Can y'all feel my panic right now? I'm panicking thinking about the homework again. Like, oh my God. Y'all just literally watched how I end up spiraling. That's exactly how it happens. So now I'm just kind of trying to just, chill out and just like one step at a time, one step at a time. But anyways, y'all, that's it. That's it. There's nothing much else to it. I just got anxiety going back. I'll make another video letting y'all know how it went. And if my anxiety was just for no reason, which I'm praying that it is for no reason, and I end up having an amazing time and eating lots of Bojangles and Popeyes and Cookout. Eh. See y'all in the next video. And as per usual, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sitting with me and having this chat. If y'all want to, care to share, like if some of y'all live overseas and you're an American expat and you have had anxiety when you have to go back to America, share your story with me. Like, let me know in the comments. Um, Let me know if you are living in America and it gives you anxiety to wake up there every day. Feel free, discuss it in the comments. But as always, keep it positive. Please, please don't come here with the negative comments. If you want to post it, post it. But it's getting deleted. It's getting deleted. Positive around here. Positive. Thank you. But I'll holler at y'all later. Mwah.